Okay, I'm just doing a pumping session, so I figured I would show you guys all about the Spectra and how it works. As you can see, there's a few different things showing up here, and well, my battery is flashing, so I gotta put this on the charger here. But the nice thing is you can charge it while you are pumping. So these are the different settings. This tells you how long you've been pumping. This tells you the cycle, which is how often it's going to suck some milk out. You can lessen that. You can hear it go slower, less often. I like to do mine more often just because I want a shorter pump time. But when you start, you'll start with this button here. This is the letdown. So this does quick little bursts that kind of like stimulates the nipples to start making the letdown happen, which is when all your milk will just like come. And then once you see milk going into the bottle, then or whatever you're pumping into, then you just hit that again, and that will go to the regular deep sucking. This is a vacuum. I have mine at level 4, but you can see there's a lot of different levels and different intensities. Mine just turned off because it's out of battery, but there's also this nice night light with 2 brightness settings. That helps at night when I'm pumping and I want to see how much is in the bottle. It's really nice. It does have this little spot here for a bottle to go into, which I find helpful. When I'm all done, I just set it in there. If I need to go run after my toddler or whatever, I find it helpful to have that. There are 2 ports. I just like to do one at a time because I don't know. I don't like getting my pumping bra on. I'm a little lazy, but there are 2. There's just this little cap that goes on if you're not using the other. And there's 2 tubing sets. So here's what the tubing looks like. It's like this hard silicone. Let me just show you. I'm pretty far into my breastfeeding journey, so I don't pump very much, but you see these different components here. Make sure you size yourself correctly for flanges. I use a 24. You can look it up online. You just have to measure your nipple. You can test it out too, but you can see this part goes over your nipple. You center your nipple in here, and then it will suck it down. What I really like about the Spectra pump is it is a closed system, which means that your milk, this membrane here, there's a little membrane in between this pumping part. This gets pulled up like this by the suction from the tube, and that membrane gets pulled, and then that pulls the milk from your boob, and then it drips down through this little duct valve here and into your bottle, which I really like that their bottles have good accurate ounce measurements on it. Their bottles go up to like almost 6 ounces of measuring, which is perfect size, especially if you're doing both boobs at one time. You might fill it up really fast. You might be slower like me. Like I just pumped for 14 minutes and got an ounce and a half. Like I said, I'm like almost 8 months into my pumping journey, so my daughter doesn't need very much milk anymore. But yeah, I like these parts. They're really easy to clean. All you do is run them through warm soapy water after each pump, or I believe you can put parts in the fridge for the day of if you don't have time to wash between pumping things. But there's a lot more you can look into that, but you can see like these parts, they're pretty easy to clean. You just use a little bottle brush in these little sections. And yeah, the warm soapy water and then sterilize it once, I think a week. I'm not sure. I don't pump very much, but just put all these parts in, no, not this part, but all of these here into boiling water for 5 minutes. Let it boil for 5 minutes in a rolling boil to sterilize the parts. I believe this duct valve and the membrane in here, because they are like a silicone, I believe, they say to replace it, I think every like 3 to 6 months, depending on how much you use it. Like I said, I don't pump very much, so like my parts, I've never had a part rip or break or anything, but if that was the case, I would just replace that. And they have replacement parts, I believe. It's pretty easy to do. So that's what is the rundown of how to use these parts and just kind of how to use the system. I absolutely love my Spectra. I've used this actually same one for 2 different breastfeeding journeys now for both my daughters. So it's still going strong. If you use it more frequently, you might have to get a new one. I'm not sure, but I have loved this specific version. You charge it and then you can just use it without it being plugged in, which I really like. Because I find myself nursing or pumping in the car sometimes when I'm out and about with my husband on date nights. So it's really nice that I don't have to like plug it in somewhere to use it. I like that portability. It's pretty small, and I have this bag that I put it in that has all my other supplies like my bags and stuff. But I absolutely love the Spectra, and if you're looking at this and considering getting it, I would highly recommend it. It is just such a nice little compact thing, and it works really well, so I would highly recommend.